I've come down to Harlyn Bay, which is near Padstow in Cornwall, and I've taken several pictures here before, but I've never found a really good shot. So I was hoping for something different tonight, so I thought I'm going to climb up on these hillock bits, hillocks, sounds about right, and try and find some sea pinks. I've found some, but they're just blowing around too much in the breeze. I mean, I could cope with that, but everything's just too far away. So this is a 20mm lens. It makes the beach look massive and everything else look far away, so it's still not going to be a good shot. So I'm going to have to try and think of something else. I looked on the beach for a good foreground, and I was hoping for some nice sand patterns, but there aren't any that seem to work. So I think I'm going to end up taking a panoramic shot. So really I want some sort of focal points for this. So there's the small island there and the headland behind me there. And I think this is at 70mm, this focal length now you're viewing at me on. And at 16:9 there's still too much sand and too much sky. So I think it could work as a thin panoramic crop. So cropping the top and the bottom of the frame. But I can't see how any other way for this shot to work. I will try the other lens in a minute just in case there's something to zoom in on, but I think this is going to be my first shot of the day. So here are my previous two images from this location, and you can see I used the people as a focal point. Although it's, not a terrible picture, it's getting close to terrible. I just feel like, although the clouds were good, it's not a picture that would sell. And the next picture is just, okay, it's a bit minimal, which I quite like, but it's just really not quite got enough. How do you deal with a difficult location like this? The answer revealed itself to me later on in this video, and I was quite surprised that I hadn't realised it from the start. I've switched to the 100 to 400mm lens now, and it's definitely better, but now the island on the left is slightly too close to the edge of the frame for me, so I think I might have to discount it altogether, pan around and just focus further in on this beautiful headland. So let's see what we can do if we zoom in. Oops, forgot to do I've got my zoom ring tightened up to stop it from slopping around. So if I loosen that off before I do a zoom, it'll be less painful for your eyes, hopefully. Oh no, it's still jerky, but anyway, that I think is better now. At least it makes more sense. So now it's just a case of whether I have more sand or more sky. There's a bit of cloud in the sky, which might come out if you boost the contrast a bit, but I'm not sure. I'm just thinking, about whether this image would sell or not. I don't know if it would, but people buy pictures, so if this place, Harlyn Bay, was a favourite beach of someone's and they wanted to buy it for a gift, a picture of this place as a gift, this is the sort of audience I'm aiming at. So, or a calendar use, of course. I like the colour of the sand, and I think it might be more interesting than this. Oh no, the sky's pretty good up there, isn't it? I'm going to do both, and then I can completely chill out about it back home in the office and just decide which one to use. As I said in my Finding Foregrounds video, if you can't find anything down low, like I was down on the beach looking for sand patterns for a foreground, then I came up here looking for sea pinks. Couldn't get a decent shot, but at last I've walked further along this top edge of the cliff now, and I found some grasses, and they're making it look pretty good actually. So I think they just add that little bit of depth to the shot for a bit more foreground interest, and that's going to make for a better shot overall. It's quite nice wide with all these, the people there on the, oh actually if you go up, well now I've got a nice balance of grasses at the bottom and clouds at the top. I rather like that, but everything looks a bit far away and I don't really want to go too far around because then I've got the sun behind me and the light gets a bit flat. But actually that's pretty good because you've got a bit of life because people on the beach. Yeah, I'm going to stop this video and take this shot. Sound of the sea. Shut up, seagull. Harlyn Beach is a hard nut to crack, but luckily I've got perseverance and patience. Well, a little bit anyway. And it's getting towards sunset now, so the light's a little bit more golden and everything's looking a lot better. I'm right down the other end of the beach now, so I'm about a mile away from where I started. And luckily I found a big group of sea pinks which make for a much better foreground, so hopefully I've actually got a good shot of Harlyn Bay. These sea pinks in the foreground are slightly over, but I think they're acceptable. They're not the deep pink that I really like, but they're acceptable and they're looking good with the sideways sun on them. So I'm hopeful that this is going to be a shot that I can finally say I've got a good shot of Harlyn Bay. Another thing I've found over the years is that staying in one place for a long time, several hours, really gets you into the place, and I think it's more productive in the long run because you're relaxed. You're not flitting around from place to place, snapping shots here and there, you know. I'm taking my time. I say this in a lot of videos, but I like repeating myself because it's the best way to learn, isn't it? For myself and for others, I hope. I love this time of year with the sea pinks, and I love to be on the coast when the sun's setting. Can't really beat it, can you? On this day I was just looking at Harlyn Bay. I thought I've never got a good photograph here. I'll have a quick look and then move on. So I had a bad attitude right from the start. Plus I'm always put off by the parking, which is quite expensive, don't laugh. And yeah, I thought I'd move on to somewhere else, but no, I'm glad I stayed at Harlyn Bay because perseverance kept me there, and of course as I was staying there for hours on end, the sun gradually moved around and different compositions revealed themselves to me. I've been doing this for 47 years. I can't believe that I don't have a kind of the mindset of, come on, you can beat this, you can get a good shot here, and just go out with that kind of good attitude. Because I surprised myself on this day, and when the sun finally came round and was behind this headland, I thought, wow, there's a composition here I'd never even thought of, and I hadn't even seen it earlier on in the day because, of course, the sun was in the wrong place. So I got this shot and I was so pleased with it, because I thought, this is my shot of the day, absolutely beautiful. I love pink and orange together, as you may know if you've watched my previous videos. And this shot, I always definitely going on the website. Really pleased with it, great composition, good focus stacking with no problems at all. I thought it was my shot of the day, and then until I took the next one. So it's the 3 P's you and I have to remember. Parking, oh no, not parking. Planning, perseverance and patience. Those 3 P's will eventually get you some good shots of virtually any location. I guarantee it. And I'm determined to try and remember those 3 P's myself, and just think, come on, go out with a good attitude towards somewhere you're having trouble with. You're bound to have a location like this yourselves, aren't you? And just keep persevering until you get a good shot of it. This next shot, I'm so glad I did it. So I opened up the aperture to f4, which is as wide as it could go, and threw a lot of the scene out of focus and just focused on these foreground sea pinks. And this ended up being my shot of the day, and I'm so pleased with it.